All right, I think I've got this working again. Yay. Hello. I'm gonna tilt my camera up here. Hello, everyone. I'm Katie Silverwings. I'm upside down because I don't know how to fix this live cam issue. Uh, but I am live in my studio once again. We're gonna go with that. And this is my first live stream from the current studio. As you can see, I'm a little bit scattered. I'm trying to get the live streams to work again like I used to. And today I am cutting glass for some stained glass projects. And I hope that if you join me, you enjoy hanging out while I do this. I'm going to set up the hand camera and then get the Instagram live back up, and we'll see how this goes. If you enjoy this, please subscribe because I'm going to be doing more of this in the coming months. So I'm just going to move this over, trying to juggle all of my different equipment to get the live stream to work. And hand camera down onto the desk. And 1 second as I get the If anyone out there in internet land has suggestions for better um, ways for me to stream from the studio, I will be very happy to hear your suggestions. All right, and now I'm live again in the studio. Hello, everyone. I'm Katie Silverwings. I'm a stained glass artist. I am concurrently streaming for the first time since 2022, I think, from my studio here in Memphis, Tennessee. As you can see, I've got this up on YouTube as well over there, so you can see the hand cam version. And I've got my phone set up from this side for a different angle. If you have any questions, for me while I'm working on the stained glass, do let me know. This is an experiment. I'm still working out how I want to set up cameras here in the studio. So as you can see, I've got my gloves on for safety purposes because, as you know, stained glass is slightly dangerous. And I've got my nice glasses, goggles to work on. I have to adjust the angle here so you can see my workspace. There we go. And hello, person who's watching on Instagram. So I'm currently working on some stained glass pieces that are of columbine flowers. And right now I'm cutting the glass for the centers. So I have marked up all of my glass with cutouts on sticker paper of the shapes that I need. I design all my pieces myself. And having them on the sticker paper means I get more accurate cuts, and I can grind them more accurately when I get to the point of grinding things. So that's the center of the flower. I'm going to show that over here on Instagram as well. I'm going to take this, and for since I've got someone on the Instagram feed, I'm going to show you real quick. I'll bring the other one over. These are the columbine flowers that I'm making. And I will bring, when I will set one up for the viewers over on YouTube in a bit. All right. There we go. And let's see. There we go. That's better. Now you're not upside down, YouTube folks. Okay. So I'm just going to cut glass and perhaps chat with y'all a bit. And if anyone on watching the stream has questions, please feel free to put them in the chat either on Instagram or YouTube, and I will do my best to answer them. Bring the Instagram cam a bit closer. Ah, there we go. If I angle this right, Instagram can see what the hand cam on YouTube is seeing. And if you're looking for me over on YouTube, I am at Katie Silverwings there, as I am at Katie Silverwings on Instagram. So there's one of our petals for the flower. I'm going to just start setting one of the flowers up here so that you can see it as I go. I've already started on this one. And funnily enough, these flowers that I'm working on right now not only are inspired by the columbines I have out in my garden, they are also made primarily of pieces out of my scrap bin. And you can see the pieces don't fit together perfectly right now, but when they are finished, I will grind them and they'll fit nicely. And ML Smith 192 on Instagram says they're very pretty. Thank you so much. I really like this design. I think that columbines look so much like stars from the front. And we have a wildlife garden in our front yard that I've got these growing in. When I'm done cutting, I will take my Instagram side of the stream over to see what's going on with those. So as I'm cutting these, I'm actually using my scoring tool here to score a line, and then the glass breaks along that flaw in its structure. I use my little grazing pliers to trim it up. So as you can see, I'm leaving a little bit of, I'm gonna lift that up so that on YouTube you can see it. I'm leaving a little bit of the shape uncut, and that's because that is easier to grind. If I try to cut it, that piece will just break on the edges, and then I'll have to do more grinding. So there's the center of the flower, and since I've got this piece here, I'm gonna go ahead and incidentally, I am currently taking suggestions. I do a whole series of birds and animals in stained glass. If you go to my website, that's linked on both Instagram and YouTube from this live stream, you can find what I already make. But I do butterflies and moths and cats and birds and all sorts of things like that. And I'm looking for new ones to design. I'm going to go put this over on the tray. Suggestion for any kind that you'd like to see me make. Whether it's a sea creature, a garden bird, a butterfly, or anything else like that, leave it in the comments or tag or send me a message so that I can add that to my list. Sorry, Instagram folks, I'm not used to having the camera right there. There we go. So whenever I'm cutting these deep curves, I sort of sneak up on the piece by cutting small bits at a time. There we go. And when I turn it over, you can see there's our next petal for our flower. And see, that did break a little bit of that off, but because it's just a small corner, I'll be able to grind that to make it fit. So there's one more petal for this flower. And all of this blue is bits of leftover glass from some of my other projects. I make a lot of blue jays and other blue birds, so naturally I had some blue glass left over, but nothing goes to waste. All of these bits and bobs that I'm snapping off go into the bin here, and when I'm working on stepping stones or mosaics, I can pull those out and use them. And the bigger pieces, when I have small pieces that I need in different colors, instead of using a big sheet for them, I just dig through my scrap bins and find what I need. And there we go. So that's the full Columbine Starflower done on that one. And I'll show y'all up on the Instagram feed a little bit closer. So there's our completed Columbine flower. And y'all watching this will have to tell me what you think of the camera angles and such and all of that. So I'm going to move the piece. I'm going to leave this flower here, or actually I'm going to move this flower over to the other side, and then I'll start working on the next one. Okay, actually, you see how that's flopping there? I need to fix that piece. So I'm going to take my gloves off for a moment. Luckily, I've got some bigger pieces of this glass left. So this is why I put my patterns on sticker paper, because then if something breaks, I can just peel it off, place it back down, and cut it again. There we go. All right, now our flower has all of its pieces. And I'm going to move those, and then I will start on the next flower. Okay, so I've got my center already cut and my first petal, so I'm going to go ahead and set those here so that y'all can watch me continue. And again, if anyone who's watching this has questions about what I'm doing or how any of this works or anything else, you're more than welcome to ask, because I am here to entertain you and get this glass cut. There's our first petal, which again has a little bit broken off the end, but I think I'm going to just let that go and I'll grind that to fit. Okay, so going back to mlsmith192 on Instagram, I'm glad that you like the angle and oh, owls. Yeah, I made an owl once, but I wasn't quite happy with it, so I'm gonna have to design another owl. My favorite owls are the little burrowing owls. So I'll have to see if I can do a burrowing owl or just something that looks owl-ish. Again, it'll all look much better as far as the final piece goes after it's been ground so everything fits together perfectly. Again, the main reason these aren't fitting right together right now is because I haven't ground those center bits out of the little petals on the white. And there's our last petal for this flower. So I will show our Instagram folks a close-up of that. I really like this particular blue glass. I use it a lot for some of my bats. And now I'm going to move that over to the tray and we'll start on the next flower. Okay, there's our center for the next flower. And I'm just going to grab a sip of my tea and then we'll get on to this one. And as you can see, it's really humid in Memphis right now. My goggles are fogging up on me. So I keep having to take them off and wipe out the sweat. But the goggles are important because whenever I break the glass, tiny shards of glass can fly upwards, and glass in your eye is not something anyone wants. All right, here we go. Okay, so there's all the inner petals for this flower. So now for the outer ones, I'm gonna reach into my bin. So I've got this piece of orange glass. It's a nice translucent orange that I'm gonna use for the petals for this one. So when I have a bigger piece of glass like this, the first thing I do is cut off the majority of the excess. Because that is a big piece I can use again later. I'm going to need to move my orange scrap bin over in here, so I'm going to set the yellow aside for now. So there's that, and there's our nice orange petal to go with our flower. And again, I've got a nice big piece here that I'm just going to snap off first. And this one you can really see those. I'm going to hold it up for YouTube first. You can really see those score lines better on this color of glass than you can on the other. So you can see those nice little scratches. And that's where the glass is weak now, so that's where it's going to break. And there's our orange flower, our orange and white flower, all done. I have to take my goggles off for a second because they're steamed up again. I'll take this over to the tray with the other flowers, and then we will start on the next one. Thank y'all who are hanging out watching this now, and anybody who watches this later. I hope that this is as interesting for you as it is fun for me to make the things. Okay, there's our center. And now let's cut another piece. And welcome to our new person on Instagram who's watching. I'm Katie Silverwings. I'm cutting glass for pretty flowers, and I'm happy to have you here watching. So I've got my center cut, so now I'm going to get my white glass for the petals. I'm going to start by taking off the excess in as big of a chunk as I can manage. And then I will separate the petals. And as always, if y'all have any questions about what I'm doing or anything else, this is a conversational live stream, and you are more than welcome to chat with me. And again, I will be grinding all of these pieces so they fit together perfectly. And Tony CPDO from Instagram says, love your glassworks. Thank you so much, Tony. I really appreciate that. I love this design, and I can't wait for you to see how it comes together. And if y'all are enjoying these studio live streams where I'm just chatting and cutting glass or working on different things, do let me know, because I'm looking at doing this more in the future. I did this for a while I was working on stuff back in 2020, 2021, and I sort of fell off of doing live streams because I had to change my studio setup. But I'm hopefully going to be doing more of that in the future. And if you have any suggestions for stained glass critters that you'd like to see me make, I currently have designs for cats, horses, several different birds. So I do cardinals and robins and blue jays and flamingos, and let's see what else. Oh, prothonotary warblers, formerly known as the golden swamp warbler. I do those too. And I do a whale piece that I really love. But if there's a creature of any kind you'd like to see turned into stained glass in my style, do leave it in the chat somewhere because I am taking suggestions. I am currently in new collections and restock the studio mode. These columbine flowers that I'm working on are the newest, or one of my newest designs. The next time I do a live stream, I will be working on my mirror moon cats, which they are an older design of mine that is up on my website if you want to see a preview of what the next live stream from me will be. As you can see, making stained glass does take time. All right, so what are my next petal colors in here? Okay, we've got, looks like this one's going to be purple. Okay, so I've got some of my purple pieces here and then some of them here. So I'm going to have two flowers that are this purple. So I'm going to just go ahead and separate off the other for this design. And I can switch to my purple bin. I'm gonna give the Instagram folks a view of this is what my scrap bins look like. So I've got blue and white and purple, and all of my different colors have a bin so that when I'm making other pieces that need the different colors, I can find them easily. I'm going to show you all that petal now. So that's a nice, lightly streaky, translucent purple that this particular flower is going to be. Okay, so that snapped off a bit more of this than I wanted. So I'm gonna see if I've got a bit of that glass that I can transfer this sticker to. Because see, there's a huge swath of that that's broken off. So let's see if I can't rearrange some things. Do I have a big enough piece down here in the scrap bin? I do. Okay, so just line that up so that it fits on the new piece of glass. And let's try cutting that again. There we go. That's better. And again, once all this is ground, the flour will fit together perfectly. And there we go. All right, so there's our purple columbine starflower. And I'm looking at the timers, and it's saying I've been at this for more than an hour now. So I am going to take a bit of a break and go get something to eat. But I will start by showing y'all on the Instagram feed what I just finished cutting. And there's my pile of pieces. So I will be back on the live stream soon. But first, I need to take a break. So I will see y'all in a bit. Bye for now. Okay, so I've been